When Gary Kirsten and Andrew Hudson got South Africa off to a flying start and led them to a total of 261 in Hyderabad, you could be forgiven for thinking that this was just another one-day tournament. But playing in India in front of huge partisan crowds is always special, and the passion of the supporters and the pressure on the home side to win has to be experienced at first hand to be truly understood. So the Titan Cup, a triangular tournament between Australia, India and South Africa, was an exciting addition to the cricketing calendar. India's defeat by 47 runs at the hands of South Africa was a potentially disastrous start for the tournament hosts. At least Hansi Cronje won the affection of the home crowd when he recalled Sourav Ganguly after being given out in a bizarre run-out incident. South Africa continued their good form by brushing aside Australia in the next match at Indore. Mark Taylor and Mark Waugh looked like setting Australia up for a big score, but superb fielding from Derek Crooks and Jonty Rhodes stopped them in their tracks. Although Ponting and Bevan saw them through to respectability, South Africa shrugged off the loss of Hudson, Cullinan and Cronje in the middle of the innings to coast home, Gary Kirsten scoring his second one-day century. India had the perfect start at Bangalore when dismissing Mark Waugh and Slater early. But Mark Taylor was in fine form and put on 90 with Steve Waugh before Waugh skied Joshi to Ganguly in the deep. Wickets fell at regular intervals, but Taylor kept his nerve to record his first one-day 100 out of a total of 215 for 7. The home crowd sensed victory, but when Somersunda and Dravid fell cheaply, their mood turned sour, and when Azharuddin was adjudged LBW to Jason Gillespie to reduce them to 42 for 3, they simply boiled over. The match was suspended for 20 minutes as missiles rained in onto the pitch, and only the calming influence of Azhar himself permitted a restart. Tendulkar played some sparkling shots, but it needed Javagal Srinath and Anil Kumble to show their prowess with the bat to edge India home by 2 wickets. Cricket is akin to religion in India, and this narrow victory prompted a suitably restrained newspaper headline, "India thrashed the little marsupials." In Jaipur, Gary Kirsten fell for 39, but not before he had eclipsed Brian Lara's record for the most one-day runs in a calendar year. But this was to be Daryl Cullinan's day, and he flayed the home attack for a rapid century before being stumped, leaving India exactly 250 to win. In reply, Tendulkar and Ganguly put on 126 for the first wicket, but when they were out, India crumbled to another defeat as South Africa confirmed their superiority. In Faridabad, South Africa continued their winning role, Alan Donald reducing Australia from 212 for 5 to 215 all out, despite a 50 from Stuart Law. Despite some early alarms, Cullinan again steered his team home with an unbeaten 71. And it became 5 out of 5 in Rajkot, as not even a let-off for Tendulkar and the successful promotion of Srinath, who made 50, could break the pattern of South African dominance. Razor sharp in the field, Jonty Rhodes then saw them through to their target with an unbeaten 50. The beleaguered Australians were next to run into the steamroller, and their Michael Bevan-inspired total of 238 was passed with contemptuous ease as Andrew Hudson and pinch hitter Lance Klusner filled their boots. And so Australia, played 4, lost 4, met India, played 4, lost 3, in Chandigarh to decide who should meet South Africa in the final. Tendulkar and Azharuddin chose the moment to unveil an array of dazzling strokes, and India powered their way to a formidable total of 289. Mark Taylor got Australia off to a good start, but wickets fell regularly as they sought to maintain the momentum. With just 6 needed off the last over for victory, Brad Hogg was run out to send the crown home in raptures. And so to the final in Bombay, and once again the South Africans excelled in the field. But in front of his home crowd, Sachin Tendulkar compiled a patient 67 before South Africa's superb out-cricket brought them back into the game and restricted India to a total of 220. Not for the first time though, South Africa's form deserted them when it really mattered, and they collapsed to 96 for 7. Richardson and Simcox put on 88 to give them a vestige of hope, but Prasad and Kumble made sure that India's only victory over South Africa in the tournament would be the crucial one, that lifted the Titan Cup.